Hello! For my creative project, I will be talking about how the female sex is burdened with multiple disadvantages in society. Throughout our course, we often discussed how women are often belittled or at the bottom of the social ladder. The works we read mainly present women as the inferior gender. I decided to focus on the concepts that weigh women down. I purchased this balance scale for my visual demonstration as a metaphor for these strains, as well as these burden blocks. The wind-up dolls will represent some of the characters from certain texts. There are several external tactics that lower the status of women in comparison to men. In Olivia Shakespeare's Beauty's Hour, Mary Gower solely judged on her physique rather than her intellect or personality. The male characters, such as Gerald Hartman, objectify the females in this novel. Whether Mary is plain Gower or beautiful Hatherley, no male looks past her outer appearance. They only desire Mary Hatherley because of her beauty. Because of this, I will be dropping a block labeled Beauty into the female side. Marriage also factors into the idea of women being considered property or simply objectified. In Oscar Wilde's The Importance of Being Earnest, marriage revolves around the majority of the plot. Lady Bracknell even states that an engagement should come on a young girl as a surprise, pleasant or unpleasant, as the case may be. Marriage is viewed more as a business in which the female subject really does not have a say in her betrothed. Lady Bracknell even interviews Jack on behalf of Gwendolen, and as a result, forbids her from marrying him without any say from Gwendolen herself. Because of this, I will be dropping a burden block labeled Marriage Material into the female side. Women are also ridiculed based on internal characteristics. In Charlotte Perkins Gilman's The Yellow Wallpaper, the narrator is isolated in a room since her husband, John, claims that she is suffering from a mental illness. He prohibits her from working due to this so-called hysteria. In reality, it is the narrator's creativity that must be suppressed. This confinement recommended by men leads to her actual insanity in the end. For this, I will be dropping a burden block labeled Intellectual Captivity. Orlando and Virginia Woolf's Orlando confronts both the external and internal issues laid upon women. After transforming into the opposite sex, Orlando notices the conformities she must follow within society. The clothes, the behavior, the subordination, these are just several of these prejudices. Orlando is unable to discover who he/she truly is at times due to these obstacles. Orlando cannot recognize their true identity. Furthermore, there are other works that involve the demeaning towards both men and women. Edith Wharton's The Age of Innocence focuses on the elite society in New York City. The men are categorized as the breadwinners of the family, while the women are the caretakers who need a husband to protect them. Both of these labels are stereotypes that limit any social freedom. Newland Archer seemed to be somewhat rebellious at times, but in the end would always resort to the following elitist rules to keep his privileged life. Archer, along with other characters, never voiced his true opinions. This is especially noticeable when he does not confess his love to Ellen at the end of the story. The importance of being earnest also has points where the man is belittled in society. Gwendolen is mainly attracted to Jack because she loves his supposed name, Ernest. She also implied that she would not be interested in marrying someone who wasn't named Ernest. Lady Bracknell worsens Jack's status by refusing to let him marry Gwendolen due to his heinous family background. He was found in a handbag by his adoptive father, which is not eligible enough for Bracknell's status quo. So, with Orlando's case, because technically both sides, the male and female side of Orlando, were suppressed, I will be splitting this burden block labeled Identity Crisis into both buckets. With the case of The Age of Innocence, I will be grabbing burden blocks called Names/Title to place in both of these. Furthermore, with the age of innocence, because women were considered inferior creatures who needed dependency, I will be putting this dependent burden block in the women's side. And in Jack's case, with the importance of being earnest, I will be placing this background block on the male side. So as you can see, women still have a much heavier burden than men. In the end, there are a number of factors that weigh women down in society. Even though some works, such as the age of innocence and the importance of being earnest, indicate the conformities of both genders, the female sex is usually more concealed under these stereotypes.